the foam board from my instructor Sue, and what I need to do is, I would like to go about it just like right here, but it's going to be too short if I go sideways. So I have to go the long route. So all I'm going to do is, literally I'm going to measure it by holding this up against it, and I just want it right here. You can see it right here, so I'm just going to put a mark. Scoot it down, put another mark, scoot it down some more, another mark, and one more time, more close to the end. And so then I'm going to take a ruler and line it up. Once I'm done, I have like 3 or 4 sheets. It's only going to take about 2 sheets because I need brick on this side. And since there's 4 corners, so that would be 8 total. So by 2 sheets, I can get 8 of those. Plus I have extra. So this looks to be about a ½ an inch. So I'm going to have brick for this right here and on the sides and the inside. So I got to make brick for that, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it. Alright, so now that I have the lines, I'm going to cut them. So I got my ruler to flip it on this side. I think I'm going to also use the guide for the mat. There's a line here as well as down here. So I'm going to use that as a guide. I'm going to stand over it so I can get it as accurate as possible. Okay, so I'm going to start it with the pencil first. And take my X-Acto. And that's how tall I want it to be. So lengthwise, we're going to do 1 inch squares. So I need 4 1-inch squares. I'm going to cut 4 of those. And then I'm going to need 1/2 inch, like 4 1/2-inch squares. Alright, so I'm putting it in between the guidelines on the mat, so I know that, yep, 1 inch. So I can use this as a guide and cut 3 more. Okay, so now I have 4 pieces of 1 inch, and now I'm going to cut 4 pieces of 1/2 inch. And then I'm going to cut the extras that I need, like the 1/4 inch, and then for the post. When I'm done, I'll show you all my pieces, and then we'll go into like cut them into brick shape, just like I did the floors. Alright, so I got all my pieces cut. I have 4 of the bigger bricks, and then I have 4 of the medium bricks, and 4 of the smaller. But then also I had to cut bricks for the upper part of the box, and you'll see what I'm saying when I get over there. And then these are the little strips that go in front. So now what I'm going to do is I have to make these look like bricks, but I need to measure them. So I use my mat as a guide. I'm going to get a little closer so you can see what I'm saying. Alright, so here's what I'm saying. You see these squares? That's 1 inch. So I'm going to keep it at 1 inch, and I'm going to line it up with this line and then this bottom line. And I'm simply just going to go over it with the pencil. It's going to give me my 1 inch square. So, and then I go over here to the next one. And the next one. And see, I'm going to show you on this one. The rest of them I'm going to do off camera and then piece it together. So that way we won't have a really extra long video. And so scoot it down some more, line it up, and here we go. And right here. And a little end right here. So that gives me my lines. And I'm going to go through each one of them and just make the groove just a little bit deeper. Sort of look like bricks. See? And it's easy. I mean, you can even use a number 2 pencil. Okay, so now I have my bricks. And the grooves are deep enough to where the paint will separate and make it look like it is a groove. Okay, so I'm going to get busy with the rest of these, make grooves in all of them, and then we'll start the painting process. I hope I don't mess it up this time. Alright, I'm about to get busy. I'll be back. So I got all my blocks done. Medium, the large, the medium, and the small, and the extras. So what I'm going to do is, in order to get the dents and what stone really looks like, balled up some aluminum foil real tight. And I've done this several times. Check out the haunted house video and you'll see how I did some of the stone work. But anyway, all I'll do is just roll this over it because I want it to look dented and make it look like it's concrete. So, and I know plenty of people have done this who do miniatures, but there are people who never done it or don't know the technique that we do. So this is how I get that stone look. And I'm going to give you a close-up here in a minute. And you want to get the edges too, like, because you want to make it look realistic. You do not want sharp edges. Just like this. I'm almost done, and I'm going to give you a quick close-up. So, and sometimes you just have to mess with it. You get those sharp edges off because you do not want sharp edges. Okay, so this is what it's looking like. See the way it looks like stone? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint it all black and do it similar to what I did on the first one. If you haven't seen the first video, go to the Castle Box from the Tom Bishop Show 2024 and you'll see how I did it. I want to try to keep it similar as far as the painting goes. So I think I'm just going to literally paint this black, and I made a mistake when I did it, but it turned out right. But I'm going to do that same pattern so that the look can be similar to the look that I have now in the Castle Box. So I'm going to paint it all black, and then I'm going to go through with this mixture that Sue gave me, which was my instructor. This time I'm just going to go down each line and let it, you know, drizzle through, because the crease that I got in the bricks in the Castle Box, it looks really realistic. So I want that same look. So once I go through each one of these and make that stone look, I'm going to paint it and then go through it with this. So, but I'm going to paint this one now on camera and I'm going to let it dry. And while it's drying, I'm going to do the rest of these. Then I'll bring you back and show you how I'm going to use this mixture. Okay, so I'm using just plain acrylic black. I got this big jar from Walmart. Oh Lord, about a year ago, but I still use it. It's still good. So, and there's some right here I don't like the way, so we're gonna use this. Put it on here, give you a closer look, and simply just paint. Here, get as much on there as I can. Alright, let me give you a close-up. So basically, once this dries, I'm still going to go through it with that the mixture because I just love that effect. And even though it was by accident, like I said, I'm going to try to get it again. But this time when I paint, I'm not going to dry brush. I'm not going to have to because I'm going to wet. I intend to wet the other 3 paints to give it that brick look. And so I'm going back and forth, up and down, side by side to make sure it gets in there. Alright, so now I'm going to set this aside, start on the rest of them, and when I'm done, I'll bring you back. Alright, so this is the end result of the black paint. So I'm going to have to let this dry overnight. It's late, and then I'll bring you back tomorrow, and we'll go over it again. I'm still kind of in debate about the glue or the sealer in a little bottle. I'm thinking about it, but as I was painting, I was like, yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it looks. So that's the little bottle over to my right. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it, but we'll see tomorrow. All right, time to dry. Okay, so new day, and my bricks are dry. And so what I think I'm going to have to do is just go through it again with the lines and indent the lines even more, because the paint kind of took up some of that space. So let me show you how I'm going to do that on one of them, and then I'm going to take this pewter gray and use it as a base. I'm not going to completely dry brush it, but it's going to be kind of in between. I'm not going to use, like I do when I dry brush, I use very, very little paint. But I'm going to add a little bit more just to cover it. Alright, so all you got to do, basically, let's start with this one. And I'm going to show you the back. I did not paint. It's going to be glued. I'm going to take this, get closer, and it's like you can barely see it. So go through it again with the pencil, make the dent, and it's a lot better. Just make the dent all the way through. And when you make the dent, you're gonna see some blue from the phone. I'm gonna go through that so you really won't see it. All right, so I'm gonna go over it with the gray, and you shouldn't be able to see the blue. So here we go. Got my little plate. Shake this up. Just add a little bit of gray. And then paint. Take my brush, use a little bit, and then take the paint and basically go over it. And I see I'm gonna have to mess with it to make it a little darker, but you can see how it's turning. And I'm going to hit the sides as well. Even the ends. Okay, so now we have this, and as you can see some blue. To get a closer look, you can see some of the blue in between the cracks. So I am gonna have to use some of that special solution that Sue gave me. So I'm gonna roll this like I did in the previous video, and then I'm literally just gonna go down the lines just like that, very little. I may use a toothpick, so I'm not gonna go all over it like I did last time, just to make that darker. So here we go. So I'm gonna roll just like I did last time, and it's gonna take probably about 3 to 5 minutes. So when I'm done, I'll bring you back and show you how I'm gonna do each line. Now I'm doing this one on camera, and the rest I'll do off camera. Okay, here we go. Ooh, trying to hold my breath here. Okay, so I'm just gonna just a little bit there. All right, so I'm gonna do each one of them like this. And what I think I'm gonna do, since it doesn't want to roll, is once I get the glue in between each crack, stand it up. All right, so we got it, right? So what I'm gonna do is kind of like do like this. That way I know it goes down. Do it backwards. I'm going to grab a toothpick. Just going to go down the line. That way you can see the indent of the crack. Go down each one of them like that to make sure that the solution gets down in the crack so you don't see any blue at all. And you can see a really good crease within the crack. I'm going to press this toothpick in the cracks. I do not want to see any blue. And I want to see a good clear crack. See? So, that one's done. I'm going to let it dry. So I think what I'm going to do with this one, this time, I'm going to go ahead and do another one. I'm going to put a dent before I go over it with the gray paint. Again, C Miniatures is about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Make mistakes, you correct them. And as I'm doing this, I'm seeing blue. Okay, so here we go. You can see the blue. And what I've done, again, I've took my pencil, went down just to make the cracks, the lines in the brick more indented. So, is indented a word? I had to indent so that the lines can show. Because when I went over it with the black, you know, it kind of took some of the lines out because the paint went in it and kind of filled up the cracks. So I needed to go in and clear this out. And I did. So what I'm going to do is going to take this solution, go down, and put it in each groove. And then when I'm done, go through it with the toothpick again, and then let it dry. Then go over it with the gray. I think that'll work better. So I intended to do one of these, but it didn't turn out right. So, and I wanted you to see me do a second one to compare it. Okay, let's get the toothpick. Lay it in between each groove. That way the solution can get in there and it will cover the blue. Okay, so I did all of the bricks, and now I'm going to show you the difference between this one that I've done already when I painted and then put the black mixture on it. But this one I didn't paint. I went on and put the black mixture in between the bricks. So we're going to see the difference. Go ahead and paint it and we'll see what happened. So again, back and forth. And don't forget the edges. And make sure you try not to, if you decide to do this, don't get in between the cracks. You want the cracks to stay black. The detail is in the miniatures. Turn it around. Edges. Okay, now let's see the difference. I like it. See, this one is more in depth because it's dry. So what we're going to do is we're going to let this one dry, and then I'm going to bring you back so you can compare the two. But I actually like it. So that's what I did with the rest of the bricks. I went on and put the black mixture in between the cracks, which is this one. So I'm going to let this dry, and then I'll be back. Okay, so they're dry. So this is the outcome. And this is the one that I did after I painted. This is the one that I did. I put the mixture in before I painted, and I really like this one better. But just, yeah, and you can see the lines better as well. But I noticed that I made a mistake. I used the pewter gray on these, both of these, and it should have been the rain gray. So I'm going to go over these with rain gray, and then I'm going to paint them all and let them sit, and then I'll bring you back. I'm going to take this one right here, and I'm going to just paint one brick, and then I'm going to go with the other colors. So the colors that I have is pretty much, two of them are the same as the other one. So I have the peppercorn that I'm going to put on, one on each row of bricks. Then I have the gray frost that I'm going to put on. Now the other one that I don't have is the medium gray. I can't find it. Somebody messing with my stash, and I'm like, quit touching my stuff. They don't understand. Keep messing with my miniatures, and there will be no Thanksgiving dinner. So I had to replace that one with the granite gray. I don't know how this is going to look, but luckily it's going to be outside. All right, so I'm going to take some of this peppercorny, and I'm just basically, literally just going to paint one brick. And I'm going to do the same thing with the other two colors, as well as on each row of bricks. And I also look to see if I can find any blue, because if so, I'm going to try to cover it up with this gray. And I did remember this time to dip it in the water, and then I put it in the paint, the peppercorn paint, and I used it that way. So I didn't forget this time. So now I'm going to do the other two colors. All of them are done and dry, and they're looking really, really nice. They turned out real good. I actually like them. And you can see the lines in between the bricks or the stones. So what I'm going to do is brush over it lightly with this frost gray, like I did in the last video, and give it its final touch. And then later on, I'm going to take it outside and seal it with this spray sealer. And then we can actually add it on. So I'm going to show you with one or two of them how I'm going to do it. Alright, I'm going to take just a little bit of the frost and use this wax paper to get it off, because I threw away my paper plate. So here we go. Alright, nice. Okay, so I'm going to do the rest off camera, and I'll bring you back when they've been spray painted and dried, and we can go ahead and put them up. Okay, so here we are, and I made a boo-boo. Okay, so I did do it the way I thought was right, but it does not match the colors. This is too bright. Look, compare it to this one. See how dark this is? And I know why now, because when I messed up, I just went on and covered everything with this dark sealer. So I'm going to have to do the same thing with each and every one of these that I did, because it's too bright. Go over it lightly with it to make it a little darker, and then dry brush it just like I did this. So I don't have to spray with the spray sealer. It's going to seal it with this mixture here. So more work to do, but you know, I always say I'm going to bring you the good, the bad, and the ugly. Sorry this is taking longer than I thought, but rather do it right. I need to get it to as close to the color as I can. Okay, so here we go. I got a little of the mixture in, and I'm just going to take each and every one of them and go over it. As usual, I'm just going to show you one or two, and I just do the rest off camera. So I'm going to get close up here. Alright, so here we go. Take it. And this is actually sealing it, so I don't have to worry about the spray. Just want to make it a little dark. It's just too bright. It's not going to match the box, so. Don't forget the sides. I meant to put on my gloves. Oh no. Alright. I'm gonna go wash my hands as soon as I'm done with the demonstrating here. And then put my gloves on. So that's looking more like it. It's not too bright. Okay, so that's one. I'm gonna put it down right here. I'm gonna do one more, and then the rest I'm gonna do it off camera. Of course, I have to go, wash my hands and get this stuff off, because I got frustrated and forgot to put my gloves on, which is not good. This is paint. Paint is chemicals. Well, whatever chemicals is in here is chemicals, and it shouldn't be getting into my skin, because believe it or not, your skin is like a sponge. It absorbs everything. So I gotta hurry up and get this stuff off me. Just didn't want to do another retake, so know that the rest of them I am definitely going to use my little rubber gloves. Get my sides. I don't have to worry about the back. So okay, that looks more like it. So I'm really just going to dry brush it once it's done. Here we go. Go wash my hands real quick. Alright. Next step. Alright, so I'm back. And what I've done is I've already gone over each one of these, and I dry brushed it with the Gray Frost, and then I dry brushed it with the Peppercorn, which is the darker, and then one with the Granite Gray, because I did have another one, but somebody took my supplies, and yeah, there's going to be a problem at Thanksgiving for that one. So I've gone through, and like I said, I dry brushed one of each brick on the roll, and it looks nice. It's actually matching the inside of the box. So now I'm going to just take this Rain Gray, and I just need a little bit, and I'm going to dry brush each one. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that, and then we'll be really ready to put it up. So dry brush means just a little bit of paint. Get as much off as you can, and then just a little bit dry brush. So here's how I'm doing it. Just go over it like that, and it makes it pop. Actually makes it stand out. Flip it over. And I'm even going to go along the edges. And a little goes a long way when it comes to dry brushing. Okay, I need a little bit more of this, just to go along the edges. And I'm going to do each one of these. And like I always say, there's nothing worse than watching paint dry. And I know people don't want to sit here and watch me paint each and every individual one. That would be so boring even for me, even with a song. So this is what it looks like. It looks good. It's actually looking like the inside of the box. So I'm going to put it up against the box so you can see it, and then we're going to go ahead and glue it. Alright, so see how this looks? And it actually matches the inside. That's really good. Yeah. Okay, I'm happy now. So it's time to get ready to put it up. Alright, so this is the final product, the end product. And so what I've done was I have taken the bricks and I glued them with tacky glue, like pretty much the face of it, and right here, like right here, all the way around, and here, and also on the sides in the back. So it looks really a lot like Sue and her husband when Almond, when they did it at the school, at the Tom Bishop show at that class. This is just, it turned out really nice. Even the colors that match. So, wow. Okay, I'm going to take the lid off so you can see the inside. This is the inside without the lid. And so I did not put any brick along here because of the lid. It has to come to about right here. So that's where I stopped that. And I did not put any like right here, because you're not going to see in there anyway. And then this right here, I'm going to pretty much cut it off. It's just access. But anyway, so remember how the lighting was like back here? is a light so you can see the hallway, like a light illuminating from the hall, and then also the window. You can actually look out the window and see light. But then we still got the fireplace. So yeah, she's looking really, really good. I'm happy we have finally completed this. So one more picture with the lid on. Wow. And this right here is just, this is the final. Like you can see outside, like the sun, the sky. And again, we have the fireplace. And we have the light from the hallway. And we have the face all over the box like it's supposed to be. And as a final touch, I'm going to put some plexiglass across the opening, or maybe even some saran wrap. You can use saran wrap, just something to keep the dust out. So you won't see me do that, but I'm definitely going to put something across there to keep the dust out. And in case you don't know what I'm talking about this opening. I want some type of plexiglass or saran wrap. I thank you so much, Sue, for sending me the final material. And this is just, wow, I'm so happy. We finally did it. Yay!